We call it dolce far niente. It means the sweetness of doing nothing. There are masses of it.
Dolce.
Dolce far niente.
Dolce far niente.
When's the last time you sat somewhere with no phone, no music, no podcasts, not meditating, not some crazy form of relaxation you saw on TikTok, just sitting there? You can't remember, and the reason isn't because you're undisciplined, it's because you're scared. So a few weeks ago I had an afternoon where it was completely empty. I had no clients, no work, no meetings, nothing like that. It was just completely empty, so I panicked. I was like, how do I fill my day with something productive? I literally didn't know what to do. I was sitting there like, what do I do? And that idea of just doing absolutely nothing in that quietness, it like terrified me. I was like, what am I doing with my life? Here's what nobody in the self-improvement space wants to admit. The reason you can't sit still isn't because you're undisciplined or have no drive. It's simply because you don't want to sit still with who you are. You have to be with yourself. And most people don't like who that is. Not in some dramatic way. It's very subtle. Those half-finished goals you never went back to, or that friendship that dissolved because it required energy that you didn't want to give. The version of life that you imagined when you were 15 has nothing to do with what you're actually doing now. Instead of sitting with that, you reach for the surface, another notification, another business, another idea, another something to do. We've collapsed the difference between stillness and laziness. Laziness is not doing something that needs to be done. Stillness is doing absolutely nothing. We've all turned doing nothing into some moral failure. Now an entire generation cannot sit still for more than 5 minutes without trying to occupy themselves with something to do. Your brain has this thing called the default mode network, when you stop forcing tasks and you let your brain just drift. And it's crazy because the best ideas come during this time. This is exactly when you process emotions and ideas, and they might not seem effective at the moment, but when they do, they actively go into play. Every single good idea I've had for my business, my health, my relationships have all come from me being in a state of absolutely nothing. When I went on a walk without headphones, or when I was driving in the car without listening to music, or just simply laying in my bed staring at the ceiling. That's when my brain works, and I think it's the same for you. But I've spent the last few years eliminating this because I've thought it was just a waste of time. The hustle content, the lock-in culture, all of it assumes that the more input you give, the more output you get. But you can't think clearly when your brain never gets silenced. You can't figure out exactly what it is you want when you're always being filled within your brain of someone else's voices and ideas. The people who actually build things that last all have one thing in common. And it's they know when to stop. Not because they're enlightened, but because they've made peace with silence. And silence is where clarity lives. And I'm still awful at this. That's why I'm making this video, to try and help you guys and help myself. Because, for example, about a week ago, I had 20 minutes of free time. I remember it vividly. And I had to spend it, I don't know why I did this. I tried to book a trip for 6 months down the road. And the truth is, the best days of my life weren't when I tried to crush my to-do list or when I even got that done. It was when I did absolutely nothing and I let time just stretch itself out, right? I mean, I didn't document it, didn't do really anything. I just sat by myself with my emotions. And so if there's anything you could take away from this video, it's that you're allowed to stop. It's okay to just chill and be with your own thoughts. And I promise you, that's when your best ideas will come to you. And it allows you to figure out who you really are, what your brain is actually going, what's going on with it, right? Not always trying to do content or think about something or crush a task, just peace. Try it out and let me know what happens. With that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss one. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.